It's 2:20. Now, some good news for hunters traveling in and out of Gauteng is permitted for hunting, but only for the purpose of obtaining meat for consumption and culling, just for the pot, not for anything else. This was clarified by the Environmental Affairs Minister, Barbara Creecy, on Monday. Travel for leisure in and out of the province, of course, still not allowed under the current restrictions. Let's discuss more this with Vanessa Bendeman. She's the Acting Deputy Director General for Regulatory Compliance and Sector Monitoring at the Department of Forestry, Fisheries. Vanessa, good afternoon. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your time here on the Midday View. So my understanding from what we've seen is that hunters could not travel in and out of Gauteng for leisure, but you've tweaked the regulations to enable them to go and hunt for food.
Well, Dan, it was not that they could not travel. What we wanted to clarify is that hunting is an industry on its own that contributes to the economy of the country. And we wanted to issue the directions was sought to clarify the situation. One of the industry organizations representing farmers wrote to the Minister of Culture to clarify whether the hunters actually can travel specifically in and out of Gauteng for hunting. As we know, it is now mid-hunting season, so it's critical for these hunters, majority of them are situated in Gauteng, to be able to move out of Gauteng to our neighboring farms or for hunters to come to Gauteng for hunting purposes, Dan.
Okay, so you had to make sure.
Yes,
you had to clarify because it's in the season for them to be doing the hunting, but we've got level 4 lockdown restriction that says you can't travel in and out of Gauteng for leisure. So that clarity was essential, as it's important. Hunting is an economic activity.
That's correct, Dan. And as we're well aware, hunting is one of those activities that we consider as a low risk in terms of the spread of the disease. It is conducted in large open spaces, and it's not prone to gathering. So what we have tried to clarify is that for as long as the hunting is compliant with all the relevant health regulations and the COVID regulations, there is specific requirements for the hunters in order that we still contain the spread of this virus.
Yeah, I'm not trying to simplify your clarification, but just to understand, I said in my intro they can go in and out of Gauteng as hunters for the pot. Is that correct?
That's correct. That is.
Yeah. So not for touristic purposes, for leisure, as long as it's really to make sure that you're going to hunt and you bring it back into Gauteng so that we are able to enjoy the food, that's allowable. That's the clarity you've given.
That is correct. It is, and they, whatever requirements that are required in terms of the biodiversity legislation, those would have to be complied with. For instance, if you are required to have a hunting permit or written permission from the landowner where you are going to go and hunt would be required. So these are documentation that these hunters would be required to carry with them to clearly indicate the purpose of their hunt. We also want to ensure that they comply with the requirements of the COVID regulations in terms of interprovincial travel for business. So you would comply with the Form 7 of Annexure A of the regulations, which stipulate the purpose of your travel. So that would ensure a regulation of the travel in and out of Gauteng for the purpose of hunting. Yeah. Specifically.
Yeah. How big is this industry? Do you have any numbers? I'm just thinking, if it's such an important activity for the economy, and this is the season now, I mean, what are the numbers there? Any numbers you can share with us?
I don't have the specific figures, Dan, with me at the moment, but what I can confirm is that there is a huge economic contribution in terms of that hunters provide, because during this season, the hunters also use the hunting and culling of these game to sustain the environmental management tools. So in terms of the the funds that they contribute towards the economy and the money that they make from the hunting, this is utilized for wildlife management, so that the revenue generated can assist these game farm owners to also sustain their farm. So yes, it is a huge economic boost, the hunting, and also the provision of the meat as well.
Yeah, I just got hungry now for a springbok potjie, springbok shank potjie. Thank you very much, Vanessa, for your time and clarification there. She's Vanessa Bendeman, Acting Deputy Director General for the Department of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries. So if you're a hunter, you're based in Gauteng, of course, the lockdown regulation says you can't travel in and out of Gauteng currently, but you can. As a hunter, you're allowed to do so. But you must follow procedure, must get the right permit, and respect the COVID-19 restrictions as well as you travel around.